Let's got Drredfrizzle here again. In my last video I discussed with you a bit about anatomy and the structure of the body, a little bit about the food you eat will plate with different food groups on it. In this video I wanted to discuss with you a little bit about how food gets from the fields to our plates, and just a little bit in general about how our food's grown. So first of all, our food is grown in fields, so I'll draw you like a field row of crops here. So these are just rows of crops in the fields. I don't know if you've seen it, they could be like wheat and stuff. So supposing your crops are growing here, something called a tractor comes along and harvests them. So I'll write for you tractor. So a tractor is just like a vehicle that looks a bit like this. You might have seen it, they're massive wheels, and they're sort of quite a small cabin with the driver sits like up here. Sits in his little cabin, and he drives the tractor along, which harvests the fields by a thing behind known as a plough. Well, what actually harvests the crops is something called a combine harvester. What that does is, see, I've drawn a trailer here. It basically has a long extension type thing that sort of spurts the crops out into here, and then the tractor drives away the crops. And what it does is it delivers them to the manufacturers. And what the manufacturers are is they're the people who put the food in packets and stuff. And once the food's been sent off to the manufacturer, it doesn't have to be manufactured. There are certain foods that are just like fresh, which is why when you go to the supermarket, the foods you have to put in bags and stuff are just like fresh foods that have just been harvested from the fields. And what the farmer does is he sells his goods and stuff after it's been stored. So actually, the farmer doesn't deliver it himself. He gets other people to. So along will come like some sort of lorry. So I'll draw you a big lorry. The lorry driver will come along. Very bad drawing of a lorry, but a lorry is basically the biggest vehicles on the road. So they're massive box type vehicles. And the lorries come along and they pick up the farmer's produce and they deliver it to the supermarket, like Tesco's and stuff. So when you go to buy your food, that's where it comes from. It originates from the fields. So that's known as harvesting, that process of actually collecting up all the food. And it's done by something called a combine harvester. So it's not a tractor that actually harvests the stuff, although a tractor can deliver it back to his farm before it's transported to the supermarket. The combine harvester does this. I'm not going to try and draw a combine harvester, but if you ask your parents to look up on the internet, I'm sure they'll show you what a combine harvester looks like. So anyway, that's how food is transported to the supermarket. So there's quite a few different stages there can be. Certain things have to be manufactured. So like milk, for example. Milk, you can't really deliver milk to the supermarket as it is. You have to like put particular branding on it and stuff, and this is done in factories. Factories are just basically large buildings where they put things into packets. So you might start out with milk like just normal milk in a glass. I'll draw it. And that milk might end up in a bottle with a brand name on, like that. So it might have milk written on it. So basically that's the difference. So they have to be put in packets and stuff before it's delivered to supermarkets. The other thing I wanted to say briefly is you have these things called germs. So you've probably never come across this term before, but if you're infected, it means you've got bad germs inside you. We say that people are infected if they have bad germs inside us. So where do we get germs from? Well, germs are everywhere, but don't panic, because as long as we wash our hands and stuff, this helps the harmful germs. Like after we've been to the toilet and stuff, if we wash our hands, it's fine because the harmful germs are washed away down the sink. We don't want to get harmful germs in us. There are a lot of things that use germs essentially. Germs are usually what we call harmful little tiny things, but we have some good little tiny things that are called microorganisms. Like microorganisms is the term given to germs and other good very small things. But the good ones are things like that are used in sun cream. So we have microorganisms that are used in sun cream, and the sun cream like goes on, so that protects us from the sun's rays. So we're not only protected from the sun's rays by sun cream, but we can also protect ourselves from germs by washing our hands. So Um, there's a couple of things there that a couple of ways that we protect ourselves. Sorry. Um, so supposing you were like in the woods, and like and you got like attacked by a bear, for example. So bears are like really sort of really dangerous creature. Um, there are certain ways that you can protect yourself. So you could run away, for example. That's not really protecting yourself, but it can help you get away. So I just want to introduce this idea of avoiding things and trying to prevent germs. So you wash your hands to do that, to prevent the sun's rays hitting you. So you apply sun cream. There's lots of ways to get around particular problems. So I'll let you to be aware of that. That's all I really want to talk to you about. I mean, there isn't much more to talk about in terms of like humans and things for Key Stage 1 level of education. I've discussed with you quite a lot about this, so I'll see you in the next video. I'll probably be discussing insects, animal life cycles and plants. I've still got to discuss that. But for the human part, I think this summarises it. So I hope you've enjoyed these two videos and hope they've been helpful, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Alright, okay, goodbye.